This module will cover approving student work while logged in as a faculty member. Now that you know how to approve student work while the student is logged in and perhaps working chairside, it is important to know how to approve student work logged in as an approving faculty provider. Students must have the majority of work with patients approved by an attending faculty provider, including treatment plans, procedures, clinical notes, and forms. At times you may need to approve patient-related work initiated by students from a separate workstation within a clinic. You may at times also need to approve student work from your office after a patient's appointment. There are 3 quick methods for pulling up a student's patient in order to approve work: the rolodex, through the scheduler, and through the personal planner. To go through the rolodex, click on the Rolodex module. In the name field, type in the patient's last name and as little of the first name as is necessary to pull up a reasonable list of names. Hit Enter or click on the name column header. Click on the patient's name. Make sure the patient's name displays in the bottom name field in your status bar. Check the patient's demographic data to ensure that you have the correct record and that the data is current. When approving student work, pay special attention to the status bar at the bottom of the screen. When a patient record has items that need faculty approval, the patient's chart number will appear highlighted in blue in the status bar. Having selected a patient to approve student work with that patient, click on the blue highlighted chart ID in the status bar. This will open the Patient Approvals window to display all needed approvals for the current user on the current date. In this case, the faculty member that is logged in is the current user. Therefore, no patient approval requests will display. You will need to change the criteria to display the student users waiting approvals. To approve current and past treatment information for a student when the approving faculty member is logged into axiUm, select Show Criteria within the Patient Approvals window. Notice that once the Show Criteria button is selected, patient approvals for the current user or all users associated with the patient can be selected. Additionally, patient approvals for the current date or all dates for the current user can be selected. And the approvals can be filtered by the type to display all types or treatments only, notes only, treatment plans only, etc. As you apply filters to the Patient Approvals window, the Student Approval Requests will display. Highlight the item or items to approve and then select Approve. In this case, a treatment plan is being approved, so the Approved Treatment Plan window will launch. Highlight the procedures to approve. Select the Approve option button. The type of approval request will determine which approval window displays. For example, selecting a treatment plan to approve will launch the Treatment Plan Approval window, while selecting a perio chart to approve will launch the perio chart approval window. Method 2. Using Scheduler to access patient records. Open the Scheduler module through the desktop. Go to the Active tab. Locate the patient by appointment and right mouse click. Choose Select Patient from the drop-down menu. Once again, when a selected patient's record has items that need faculty approval, the patient's chart number will appear highlighted in blue in the status bar. With the patient selected, click on the blue highlighted chart ID in the status bar. As seen previously, this will open the Patient Approvals window to display all needed approvals for the current user on the current date. Again, in this case, the faculty member that is logged in is the current user, so you will need to change the criteria to display the student users waiting approvals. To approve current and past treatment information for a student when the approving faculty member is logged into axiUm, select Show Criteria within the Patient Approvals window. Select the appropriate filters to find the approval requests associated with the patient. Highlight the item or items to approve and then select Approve. The Approved Treatment Plan window will launch. Highlight the procedures to approve. Select the Approve option button. Method 3 includes using the Personal Planner. Open the Personal Planner module from the axiUm desktop. From the opening Personal Planner window, make sure you're viewing the Unapproved tab under the Lists. This should be your default view. From here you can access any student's caseload by changing your provider ID located in the provider field to your student's ID. If you do not know your student's provider ID, click on the ellipses to the right of the provider field to open the search tool. Type your student's last name into the criteria field. Click on the last name column header. You can search using any search criteria, then selecting the corresponding column header to access results. Select and double-click on the student whose work you want to approve. Notice how the provider ID now reflects your student's ID instead of yours. From here, click on the search icon to pull up all of the student's unapproved work. You should be able to see all types of unapproved work related to all of the student's patients, including treatment plans, incomplete forms, and procedures. Select and right-click on one of the treatments to approve. Your options now are to approve the item or select the patient to further explore that patient's EHR records. Select Approve Item to display the Patient Approvals window. This opens the Patient Approvals window, where you have the option to select a single item or approve or select multiple items at once by holding down the Shift key and clicking multiple rows. Select Show Criteria to search for the appropriate approval requests. Once you select Show Criteria to look for additional search criteria, you can filter student work by user, date, and type. Select the work to approve, then click Approve. And that's how you approve student work. Need to know more about using axiUm? Please check out our additional axiUm training modules for clinical providers. Or you can also contact the DCG EHR Training Coordinator to learn more about axiUm.